Latest Manchester United news and reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of tomorrow's Europa League quarter-final against FC Copenhagen. Ole has just finished speaking to the press over in Cologne, and I tell you what, it's just added to the excitement of what is going to be a very big game and hopefully a very big 2 weeks for Manchester United. Now, one thing I want to say before I get into everything that Ole's got to say on this is that it's very hot over in Cologne. It's very hot in England at the moment, but it's very hot in Cologne at the moment. It is going to be 34 degrees tomorrow, and it will be around the late 20s when that game kicks off. So hot, hot, hot for Manchester United. And the forecast for next Sunday is hot as well, which makes me think if we can get against, well, Copenhagen, Denmark, not necessarily a club that's well acclimatised to playing in the heat, a bit like we are in the UK. But if Sevilla were to come through a game against Wolves and then play us in the semi-final, that could play into Sevilla's hands, who've got an absolutely brilliant record in the Europa League / UEFA Cup. So Sevilla could well be a threat when it comes to the heat, but also for their experience in the tournament. But the thing that got me excited about this is that we've spent so long talking about Jadon Sancho and transfers, and I can just say, I will tell you what Ole said about that in a moment, but what we've got here is, and what really started to get me excited was when they said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, what are you going to do to alleviate the boredom over the next 2 weeks, because that's how long you could be in Cologne. And I thought, you know what? We didn't get the Euros, and we're not going to get the World Cup, obviously, because we've had that, but it should have been the Euros. Knockout summer tournament. We haven't really had that. We've had the end of the Premier League, we've had the FA Cup, but this is, and the Champions League is, now in Germany, in a 2 week period where it's quarterfinals to finals, and it does have that tandem sort of World Cup, Euros sort of feel. I know it's a lot shorter, but it does have that, and that's where Manchester United should be for the next 2 weeks, and we could come out of this with the Europa League. So the excitement starts tomorrow night, of course, but it really starts to hot up quite literally for Manchester United from now. So what did Ole have to talk about? Well, look, he was, I thought, again, there was some really odd questions, so I'll avoid some of those. I mean, I just, you know, you get access to a press conference and you ask crap questions, but, you know, whatever. There was some good ones in there. In relation to injuries, Phil Jones not travelled, Luke Shaw not travelled, Axel Tuanzebe not travelled, all injured. We knew that all three of them were not going to be back until the start of the season at the earliest. I mean, there's some talk that Phil Jones actually needs an operation on his knee. So like a cockroach in a nuclear war, it looks like he's going to survive another transfer window. But there was a little bit of concern going around that Martial and Harry Maguire hadn't been seen on the photographs to Germany. I mean, there was a picture of someone that looked like me. I can categorically tell you I'm not in Cologne. But Martial is there and Harry Maguire's there, and he's got a very strong squad. And that, to me, was the question that was really missed in this press conference. I think it was poor that it was missed. Are you going to play a strong team in this tournament? Now, we're in it to win it, and Ole wants to win it. We know he said that, but is he going to pick a strong team? The question, look, he might not give you the answer, but it should have been asked. What he was asked about who's your goalkeeper going to be. Romero's obviously played in goal. Will it be De Gea? He was non-committal on that. I think he's going to pick De Gea. I think he will go with De Gea in this game, and I think he will go with a strong team because ultimately, Ole has proven that he can't trust his backup team. They can't be trusted. So if you want to win this tournament and you've got your best team available, you pick your best team. He mentioned in the press conference that Paul Pogba, because he was asked about the contract for Paul Pogba, which I'll speak about in a minute, but he said Paul Pogba's is making up for lost time. So he's going to have to go with Martial and Pogba and Bruno and Rashford and Greenwood and Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, and I think De Gea will fall into that. But what he did say is we've also got Dean Henderson, not for this tournament, but Dean Henderson is going to be back at Manchester United as soon as the Europa League's over. And he sort of gave a bit of insight to that. He says, you know, it's not going to be possible to have all three of Romero, Henderson and De Gea at the club next season. So we'll have to see what we're going to do. But I would expect to see David De Gea playing in goal tomorrow. I don't know how strong you would go. I mean, Lipton says he'd go with Romero. I understand that. Romero played against Lask, says Scalano. Yeah, I know he did. But so did Eric Bailly. So did Jesse Lingard. They shouldn't be playing tomorrow night. So I would go with the strongest team. I would go with De Gea. But we have seen Romero play Europa League finals before. Romero played for Mourinho all the way through to the final, and they stuck by that decision. I don't know that Ole will do that, but we will see. Also, he was spoken about, I mean, look, there was a question asked by somebody about the game's going to be behind closed doors again. Is that strange? I mean, is that you're over in Germany? Is that all you've got to ask in a press conference? It's going to be behind closed doors again. Is that strange? I mean, Ollie must just be thinking there in his head. My God, is this the height of deep dive questioning in a bloody press conference? Of course, Ollie said football without the fans isn't the same. It's we all accept that, but that's the tournament. We've known about this for weeks. We've played the Premier League without fans. It's crap. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing, and we move on. Pogba challenge was quite interesting. This is, I think yesterday was the 4 years since Paul Pogba signed for us, apparently. Looks really, really happy, looks ready. Ollie was saying, look, he's training extra hard. Nothing really given away about this contract that I believe will happen and happen soon. But Pogba to commit his future to Manchester United is music to the ears of most United fans and will make a big difference. Why do you think Ollie was snubbed for Franks? Danny Stuland, just English bias, really. Also asked about Anthony Martial and said that Anthony Martial's been working really hard in the gym as well. Probably at his physical best, but there's more to come from him. He's taken massive strides this season, as we have seen. I liked this question as well. He said, he was asked about whether the pressure is off because we've already qualified for the Champions League now. And he said, well, no, not really, because we came into the season wanting to win and knowing that we're in the Europa League. And we're in the latter stages of the Europa League. We're here in Germany. We want to win this tournament. And I think, look, I think many of you will probably be a little bit like me today. We are doing a show at 8 o'clock, by the way. It's a bit of a quick turnaround because the press conference was a little bit late today. But we are doing an 8 o'clock show with Ricky, Saeed and Adam. So don't worry about that. We'll be back live at 8 o'clock. But yeah, I'm really excited about this now. I've really enjoyed the Champions League the last couple of nights. And basically for the next 2 weeks, we've got a lot of football, whether it's Champions League or Europa League. Starts off tomorrow night with Europa League, Manchester United. Wolves are playing on Tuesday against Sevilla, I think. And then Inter Milan are playing at the same time as us tomorrow. So lots to keep an eye on. Tournament football, one-legged football, exciting football, big major tournament. Eyes of the world watching these games. Yes, excited. Bring it on. Hot weather in Germany as well. It's just got that feeling of a few beers watching a football match in the summer, in a tournament. And Manchester United are in it. And I tell you what, the Arsenals of this world, the Chelseas of this world, the Tottenhams of this world, they would love to be in this tournament or the Champions League. So we're in a privileged position, and I think we need to take advantage of it. We need to take it very seriously. It's another big test. I don't think the pressure is off, and I think this is the way Ollie feels as well. I don't think the pressure is off at all. I think the pressure is on to a certain extent. We did get third place and we deserved it, but we sort of we did at times people thought we might bottle it again. Well, here we are. Tournament football, 3 games to win a tournament, decent teams in the tournament. Let's show for next season. United can only come out of this confident, more confident than they are today. You come out of that tournament playing well with 3 wins and a trophy, you go into next season believing even more. You get knocked out by Copenhagen and you're like, oh, you're unsure. So the pressure is on, and Ollie will keep the pressure on because it's an opportunity for these players to go and express themselves and gain more belief and confidence and consistency, which is what we all know United need to bring. In relation to Jadon Sancho, the update with Jadon Sancho was not from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he wasn't even asked about it, and I don't think he would talk about it anyway. But the situation with Jadon Sancho is, as I said this morning, talks continue. Jadon Sancho is believed to still be in London. I think Dortmund have said something about you can fine players, but if they are not really doing anything wrong whilst they're out of Germany, then they probably wouldn't fine him. But they are meant to be training off on their pre-season tomorrow, so it'd be interesting to see what Jadon Sancho is doing tomorrow. This deal to me feels like it's very close, but it felt very close last Tuesday. So I cannot commit to you that I've been told it's going to be tomorrow or Tuesday or anything like that. I'd be very surprised if Manchester United wanted to announce it tomorrow. I think they would probably like to use the rest of the week to do that because the semi-final wouldn't be till next Sunday. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So, look, hopefully this will be the big week for Jadon Sancho. I think it suits United to get this deal announced sort of after tomorrow night's game. But maybe Wednesday, an official announcement. But we are close, but how close United can drag things out. So you just don't know. You just do not know. Hi, I'm all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. I just want to say great show. Keep it up, says Kurt. Thank you very much. Thanks to all the nice people in the comments. All the prats, you'll get kicked out by the mods. Go and annoy somebody else, you silly trolls. Brandon Williams was part of the press conference as well. Didn't really get any good questions, really. He said, look, I don't take my position for granted, and that, I'm wary that I could always get dropped down to the reserves. And then the next journalist said, do you really think you could get dropped down to the reserves? Yes. I've expected another journalist to say, do you really, really think you could get dropped down to the reserves? I mean, of course he's not going to get dropped down to the reserves, but Brandon Williams is just a level-headed player who is living the dream and enjoying what he's doing and isn't taking it for granted. And I think, absolutely spot on, but didn't really get asked a lot. Welcome to Jose Gonzalez, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Thank you for joining, anybody who is a member. Really appreciate that. And remember, we don't have a Discord or anything like that, so if you support the channel that way, that's fantastic. What else was he asked about? Behind closed doors, Pogba challenge, goalkeepers, Martial, pressures off, plan for the next 2 weeks, knockout tournament, feels like a tournament, injured people travelled, Sevilla's record. Nothing mentioned about Bruno, nothing mentioned about transfers, nothing mentioned about whether he's going to play a strong team or not. So things looking strong in relation to that. I've just got a message here. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, there's people talking about the coming week. I don't think anybody's got any information really to add in to this deal at the moment around Jadon Sancho. And realistically, everybody wants the headline, don't they? But as I keep telling you, we know the people that are going to be the people who have anything to do with it. Romano hasn't said anything about Manchester United. He's spoken about Willian. He's spoken about Jamal Lewis. And another player that's going to sign for Liverpool. So we're still a while off in relation to that. Should Williams be moved to right back, says Dean Waheed? Well, not at the moment, because we don't have anyone who can play at left back. I want to be excited by a transfer announcement. Even Liverpool are signing Tomiskas. You're my only hope, Mark, with this Sancho stuff, says Marshall FC. Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho. If people want to guess when it's going to be, that's fine, but they are guessing. If they are saying it's going to be next week, they are guessing. If they are saying it's going to be in 2 weeks, they are guessing. If they are saying it's going to be in September, they're guessing. If they're saying it's tomorrow, they're guessing. Do you get the theme here? Nobody knows when this deal is going to get done because it's not done yet. The final part of this deal is the first payment and what that's going to be. The structure of the deal, done. The players' terms, done. But the last bit is what we're going to pay this first down payment, and that hasn't been agreed yet. So until that's agreed, nobody knows. I would like to think it's going to be in the next week, but do you think I'm not going to commit on it? I guess I'm not going to commit on a guess because I think that's what a lot of people are doing. If we don't sign anyone else apart from Sancho this summer, it won't be good enough. It's the best time to close the gap, says One Day You May. Well, look, we might buy Jadon Sancho, but Liverpool might buy Sarr, Thiago and Jamal Lewis. So they get a left back, a midfielder and a winger, and we get a winger. So who's had the better transfer window? Jadon Sancho's a fantastic signing, but Liverpool could strengthen in more positions than us. So, you say it's an opportunity for us to close the gap, and I agree it is, but if we only sign one player and our rivals buy 3, then are they not having a better window than us because they're filling more positions? I mean, look, Sancho will be the signing of the summer, but one player can't be enough, I agree. When United sign Sancho, what do you do with the mess of having Greenwood, Martial and Rashford? This is Danny Struland. I don't think it's a mess. I just think it's an inexperienced comment by fans who don't appreciate what happens when you've got squad depth. I've supported United for a long, long time. I've seen United have more than a front 3. I've seen United have very good forwards who can play, who sometimes have to sit on the bench. I've seen rotation. I've seen injury. I've seen fitness issues. I've seen loss of form. It's not a mess. It's not a mess at all. It's a great problem to have, having 4 great players to play in 3 positions. And this is what we need in the midfield as well. Big clubs have big options, and Manchester United have a crap bench, and we need to build a better bench than what we've got. So it's not a problem. It's just inexperience. It's I don't know whether it's a modern phenomenon, and I don't know whether it resides with inexperienced fans or where it resides, but I do see it a lot. Why do we need Werner? Where would he go? What are we getting Sancho for? What's going to happen with Greenwood or Martial? Well, nothing's going to happen. They are fantastic, talented players. You need squad rotation. There are always injuries, and there is always loss of form. So I don't see it as an issue at all. Thoughts on Memphis Depay's comments, says Louis Kempton? Well, it's just acknowledgement that he didn't grasp his opportunity and he wish he had, isn't it? I mean, he's a Manchester United fan, Memphis Depay. And Ollie wants squad depth, says Chad Ferrand. And there is a new deadline of August the 20th. So, well, I don't believe there are any deadlines. Shafi says that it's a blessing to have squad depth. It is. I don't believe there are any deadlines for the Jadon Sancho deal now. The August the 10th deadline was mentioned, but the deadlines don't matter when the talks are continuing. So if the talks collapse, then deadlines matter. But if the talks don't collapse, then the deadline doesn't matter. Do you think tomorrow morning Dortmund are going to wake up and say, wow, we're so close to a deal, but we're going to close it now? That won't happen. Love your reactions. Which signing made you extend? Which are you most excited to date? Says Saycat. Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Manchester United do ruin transfer excitement by how long they take to do them. And I think we'd all agree that. But Bruno Fernandes is the most... And Schweinsteiger as well, I liked that. Hi, Mark, all the way from Johannesburg in South Africa. Just wanted to say your show rocks and keep up great content. Sancho will definitely help us a lot, says Calden. Thanks for the super chat. Not getting the trophy, how would such a scenario affect the current situation? Transfers pre-season, says Locomotive. I don't think the Europa League trophy is going to impact on us not signing players. It's a bit of extra money, and that money is important. And I don't think enough people have spoken about winning the Europa League will be a few extra million. I don't know how much it is. Some people have said it's another 30 million. I don't know whether it's another 30 or it's another 5, but it's still money, isn't it? So I don't think the Europa League has got a massive factor on what Man United's transfer business is, but I think it's got a lot to do with the momentum and consistency and drive and belief in the team. I think that's the most important thing. I'm very excited about it. As I said, it's going to be 30 degrees tomorrow in Cologne, so it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot next week if we get to the semi-finals. It feels like a summer tournament that we didn't get because the Euros were cancelled. I'm excited. I hope that tomorrow when we play the game, it has that summer tournament feel to it, and that, you know, we're out there in Germany for a couple of weeks and we're going to come back with the Europa League, I hope. Very excited about it, and bring it on. Mark, they have signed Tomiskas. They walked away from Lewis. Is there a point you see us walking away from Sancho, says Martial FC? No, I don't. Matic doesn't offer anything apart from experience. If we had a better CDM, I would go as far as to say we have a chance to challenge for the league, says One Day You May. Well, Matic is our best centre defensive midfielder. If we didn't have Matic, you'd be playing Fred or McTominay there, and we'd have no chance. Would love if you can recreate reaction when De Gea deal to Real Madrid fell apart, says Seika. It's on the video somewhere. I think it's on a video somewhere, my reaction to that. The best football channel I've ever seen. Keep going. Love from India, says Sujay. Well, it's the best channel because of you. That's why. The community, the interaction. So thank you to you. And if we miss out on Sancho, would Grealish be a must, says Akshay. We're not going to miss out on Sancho. There's no step down from Sancho. And Jack Grealish is not Jadon Sancho either, so it would be a big drop-off. Feel like Ed's going to let Sancho and Grealish slip, says Sheldon Jones. I don't. I'm very confident we're going to get this deal done. I think United will get this deal done. I'm just not going to say when it's going to happen, but it could be any time. And hopefully the sooner the better, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen sooner rather than later. And the sooner it happens, the better we'll feel. So hopefully it's going to happen very, very soon. Look, I'm not going to dwell on the show too long because we're back live in an hour and a half at 8 o'clock with Ricky, Saeed and Adam. Do you think Depay would fit our system now? Yes, he flopped, but Mourinho's system was trash, says Jose. Well, I think Memphis Depay sort of said that himself, that in this current team with a young team, he'd be a lot happier. But there's no place for Memphis to come back when we've got Sancho. So you wish him all the best and you move on. And I wish you all the best and we move on to the 8 o'clock show. Join us live at 8 o'clock. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Excited about this Europa League game tomorrow. Good press conference from Ollie yet again. We move towards it. I'm really excited about tomorrow. I hope he's going to go with the strongest team possible so we can win this Europa League. I'll see you at 8 o'clock with Ricky, Saeed and Adam. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you in a bit.